This time, on Whatever We Want, we talk about
the movies that turned 10 this year. Have they aged well? There are time codes down in the description. If you like to jump around to different points in the episode, we talk everything from Wolf of Wall Street to The Cruise. Enjoy!
Oh yeah.
Welcome back to Whatever You Want. We review content across all medias and media, movies, TV shows, video games, and beyond to give you the most interesting behind-the-scenes insights, storytelling techniques, all that jazz, and more.
We go over everything from Marvel, DC, Pixar. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. PreBanter, banter.
Dang, Daniel. Sound interesting. You're just gonna throw people off.
I know, right?
I don't know why we did that. I was trying to think of like a segue I could be like, well, because we're talking about this week. We did that like 10 years ago, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm all off my game, Daniel. This might have been the worst decision ever.
It's fine, man. It's fine, okay?
Have you do
just keep on stepping.
Yeah. Maybe this could be the best decision ever. You know what? There's still time. Speaking of time, we're back. All right.
Boom, boom. Right there.
This year, we're talking about this podcast. We're talking about.
We're going back down.
We're talking the movies that turned 10 this year. So, have these 10-year-old movies aged well? So the year is like still pretty recently ticked over the new year, 2023. I'm still in that phase of like writing 2022 and everything. Yeah. So yeah, basically the concept. If again that wasn't clear because I don't know what's happening this episode. It's 2023, and so we're gonna take a look back at all the movies that came out in 2013. And just kind of gauge, was that a good year of movies? Have these movies aged well? Just kind of review 2013, I guess. We were like 14 and 15 at that time, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
so
somewhere around that range.
We should remember some of these movies.
It's funny, I literally just looked up the list, and the first thing I saw, because I did like expanded the thing on Google, it's literally just an image of Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. And there's apparently the movie called My Sweet Ride, but when you hover over it, you get the Avengers. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. Google just like doesn't know how to process 2013. Yeah. You just ready to jump into the main segment?
Yeah, let's jump right into it.
So I kind of sort these into categories. I have like lists, but I figured we can. We're like a big superhero podcast, so I figured we could talk about the superhero movies that came out that year if you're cool with that.
Yeah. So Doofenshmirtz and
the best superhero.
The Avengers here.
The Avengers were in 2013. I don't know why that's coming up. The Avengers were 2012.
Well, no. It's like the animated. I think this was the one where they had the crossover with the animated.
Oh, that makes
characters.
sense. I thought you were just saying Doofenshmirtz, and then you hovered over it, and like the live-action Avengers movie came up.
No. That would be so funny though.
That's why I was so confused. I was like, Google's broken. All right, but yeah. So I mean, superhero movies. This actually
Man of Steel.
Yeah, 10 years ago, Man of Steel came out. That was the first one I talk about. So it's just interesting that like that came out and we were all like, man, DC's going to finally catch up to Marvel. And 10 years later, they still don't know what
Still haven't. Dude,
James Gunn hopefully can
that really puts that into perspective, dude. Yeah. Like how much they've been kind of just like flopping around.
Treading water, or struggling to tread water for 10 years.
Here's I think, a good analogy.
The dream has died.
Honestly, dude, like, I think a good analogy here is, like, Marvel's been, like, this shark in the water, you know?
Uh-huh.
And it's just, it knows what it's doing.
Is still putting on its water shoes, DC.
Well, no, but, man, like, all DC's been, like, freaking a flounder that's just was brought onto a fish, and, like, it's flopping around.
I think DC's, like, not even in the ocean yet. It's, like, being swept away in, like, some sewer, and is about to get to the ocean, hopefully.
No, it's in a fish farm. It's in a fish farm, so it's, like, everything's, like, force fed and like really hard to like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is a really weird analogy. I don't know why I thought it was perfect originally, but we're
just like no, it comes back just like Man of Steel. They thought it was a good idea. 10 years later, I mean, Man of Steel was a good idea, but 10 years later, the rest of the DC universe not necessarily a good idea. Yeah.
Oh man.
I just hope they get it together, man. Man of Steel though, like was a great, honestly, like interpretation of Superman that we hadn't seen for a while, and just like hot off the heels of the Nolan trilogy, Batman trilogy.
Yeah.
Like it was cool that we were getting like a new take on Superman, and like with visual effects that were like really good, like the dark grittiness. Again, I feel like DC has been plagued and it's like, oh, it's all dark and gritty, but this was like the first case of it, and it was like, oh, that's new and it's different than Marvel's like campy, like bright thing. So I think this was really a unique step at the time. What are you laughing at?
Well, I'm scrolling down. In 2013, futuristic movies came up, and there's this one called The Machine, and it looks like it's about like some AI lady or whatever. But it just made me think of that new movie that's coming out, the Machine.
We're not there yet, Daniel. We're
sorry,
talking about
I'm jumping ahead.
Superheroes. So, I mean, Man of Steel. Any last minute thoughts on that before we jump into?
No, I think we covered that
Marvel
pretty
stuff?
well. There's potential there. It didn't end up well.
Yeah.
Well,
2013, Iron Man 3 also came out. That it actually marked the start of Phase 2. So 2013 was the start of Phase 2 of Marvel, which is crazy to think.
Wait, that was 2013. I'm seeing Thor: The Dark World.
Thor: The Dark World was also 2013.
Did they both come out the same year?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Start of Phase 2 of the MCU. That's a huge step. Hot off the heels of Avengers. Iron Man 3, it's not everyone's favorite, but I do think it's better than Iron Man 2. And honestly, I do think Iron Man 3 is pretty decent. Maybe the ending isn't as strong as it could be. Some of the Extremis stuff is pretty interesting. I might have to rewatch that to remember some of the Extremis stuff.
Actually, no, I think Iron Man 2 is stronger than 3, come to think of it, honestly. Yeah. I mean, it's nice being able to see Tony with all of his suits, but like...
But I liked in 3,
I feel like there's too much going on.
I like that it stripped him of the suit, and you got to see Tony Stark, how he would survive without all the tech and the suit and the billionaire status. I like that unique approach to Tony Stark after 2 solo movies and an Avengers movie.
You know, I can agree to that. That was a good point in that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I feel like the way they... Again, it always comes back down to, like, pacing. And I feel like the pacing was, like, weird at times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that.
Sorry, I think someone's doing, like, construction outside my house or something. So if you hear that, my bad. But anyways.
I can't hear it. Yeah.
I know, but the mic might pick it up. But Thor: The Dark World, like you said... Movie of the year in my mind. Just kidding. Honestly, I need to rewatch it and give it another chance because I think like it is bad, no doubt about it. But I think because we just keep dogging on it as like the notorious bad MCU movie, it's like lowered my expectation of it. And if I watched it, I'd probably be like, yeah, that wasn't like as bad as I thought it was.
It wasn't like
that
bad, but it was bad.
I think because we keep dogging on it, like I've lowered my reality of what it actually is. Which I don't know if maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Next, the last one in the superhero category for 2013, The Wolverine came out this year. What do you think of The Wolverine?
I feel like it got a lot more hate than it deserved, honestly.
I agree. When I think Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, this is like the look, I think, is he was so jacked in this. And I think like he did like the special technique and he like mastered it at this point where like he would bulk up and then like right before like a big shirtless scene, he would like dehydrate himself. So like literally his skin was just like sucked into his muscles and was so toned, but also so jacked. Like I'm like literally getting flashbacks to like the scene, spoilers, where like they cut him in half and then he like turns around and just heals and it's like, oh, you're toast, buddy.
Yeah.
Like this was a good movie in my mind. Yeah, I mean Logan.
I totally agree.
I do love Logan, but when I think like peak physique Wolverine, I think of the Wolverine. Yeah.
You know, I totally agree. At the same time, too, I also like how they, because you know, a lot of times before it was like you would use Wolverine as a tool with other X-Men stuff.
Right.
I feel so. This was something to where like he was able to like really shine in his own right. Again, like what you're saying with that peak physique and that peak ability, I feel.
Right. There was also X-Men Origins
then also,
Wolverine. Was that this one?
Yeah.
No, so X-Men Origins Wolverine was a different movie. But the Wolverine is like, I think that, so Origins was like that was 2009. That was like his origin. And this one was like, all right, we've established his origin. This is just like an adventure like with his story at his peak. So yeah, I think this is everything like at his peak, which I like.
Yeah. Yeah. But what I was going to say is even with that, like with him losing his regeneration for a little bit during that time, that was also cool to see how that affected him like personally.
Again, kind of like stripping Iron Man 3. I guess this was the year, 2013 was the year of stripping superheroes of their
abilities.
Powers. And when they didn't do that in Thor: The Dark World, everyone was like,
it felt cheap.
This sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2013 taught us to strip superheroes of their what makes them great and see how they react.
Yeah.
You know what? 2013, good job for that. All right, so out of those in this category, Man of Steel, Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, The Wolverine, what was your favorite?
Kick-Ass 2. No, I'd probably say The Wolverine. If I'm being completely honest. Yeah.
I think it's close between The Wolverine and Man of Steel for me.
I don't know. Superman never really spoke to me as a character. I honestly kind of hate him as a character.
Why?
Yeah.
Because he's just too perfect?
Well, it's not even that. Like his whole thing is, I mean, that's a lot of people say that all the time. It's like, oh, then you get people are like, oh, well, then you don't read the comics. It's not even that. It's just, it's not about being idealistic or the hope of it. It's like, even what they did recently, I saw this one TikTok where they like increase his power level so he's able to like create portals and all this other kind of shit. It's like, if he's meant to represent hope, then there should be a challenge to that hope. And there's never that
Yeah, he shouldn't just be able to like coast through everything. Like Spider-Man represents hope because he's like down like this teenager without anything, but despite that he remains optimistic and hopeful, and you don't think Superman has that like enough down in the dumpsness to warrant like he's a symbol for hope kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Interesting. I haven't really thought about it that way, but that is a very valid, fair point, I think.
Yeah.
And because of that, you swayed me to say the Wolverine. Sorry, Evan. All right. Next category I have are ones that I consider like have gone down since 2013 as like classics. So I think these have aged extremely well. So in this category, first I have Wolf of Wall Street. So that came out 2013. Everyone knows this movie. I feel like it's a really good film in my mind.
I still haven't seen it all the way through. I've seen like it's in chunked out technically, so I know what happens. But like I still haven't done like a single like run through of everything. So I do need to spend some time just to do that.
Yeah, at risk of sounding like a finance bro, I think Wolf of Wall Street is really good. It tells a story of Jordan Belfont in a very interesting way, and Jon Favreau's in it. So like, what more could you ask for? You know?
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. So I think Wolf of Wall Street, you definitely watch that. It's like I think it's gone down as a classic that people know and talk about all the time now. Next,
dude, we just talked shit on Superman, and now Evan's typing in the group chat.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I have my phone do not disturb because I'm a professional, Daniel.
Sorry,
I was just like summoned.
You know, literally is what I felt like.
So next, I have Her. Have you seen Her with Joaquin Phoenix?
I have not seen Her.
Dude, you haven't seen any of these
really
classics
been
of
10
2013.
years?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So Her is I actually have a TTTT of the week. This is my TTTT of the week. It's for this movie. Do you know what the premise of Her?
Yeah, so he doesn't have a lady, or his wife died or something like that, so he gets the AI lady.
He gets an AI that he just like kind of puts in his ear or
Yeah.
wherever, and he kind of like falls in love with her a bit. It's a really unique film, just about like finding love, being alone, and like a lot of relatable themes. But yeah, so my TTTT, the voice. Did you know that Scarlett Johansson wasn't supposed to play the voice in the film Her? She is the voice now. Samantha Morton was originally cast to voice Samantha the AI in Her, and was with Joaquin Phoenix every day on set while filming, giving the lines off screen. And then she was going to re-record the lines later in like an audio booth. But when the filming wrapped, the director, Spike Jonze, felt like something wasn't quite right with the voice. So he decided in editing that the AI needed something different and recasted Scarlett Johansson as Samantha the AI, and she re-recorded all the dialogue. So she wasn't on set with Joaquin Phoenix at all.
That's so weird to think about.
I think it worked out,
but
though.
at least all the material was there that she could like read and like play off of. So I think that leaned into that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but this, if you guys haven't seen Her, it's a really good film, and I think this is honestly, again, talking about those films that like inspired me. This isn't one that like really resonated with me, but this is one of the earlier films that I remember recognizing. Like the color palette and like the tone was very different. Like it's like set in reality, but kind of like a heightened semi-futuristic reality, kind of like Black Mirror.
Yeah, from what I remember from trailers, stuff like that, it's like more saturated.
Yeah, it's like saturated and like, or somewhat saturated, but kind of, I wouldn't even say saturated. It's like
monochromatic.
Yeah. Like I think his office space like has a lot of like color coordination, like a lot of muted like salmons and pinks, and with like accents of like green plants that like just makes it feel like it fits together very well, that you wouldn't normally see in like a normal office. But it really clicked with me. I was like, oh, that's unique and that's cool, and I haven't really seen that in film. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, definitely check that out. Next is Prisoners, which I am so mad because I wanted to watch this on my flight. I haven't watched this yet. This is with Hugh Jackman and
Prisoners?
Jake Gyllenhaal, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this.
Do you say Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal? How do you say
Gyllenhaal? How do you say it?
I'm pretty sure that's how I said it. I think you said it the first time you said it sounded weird to me, so I was like, ugh.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Anywho, yeah.
I think it's a classic. From what I've heard, again, I wanted to watch it on my flight home for the holidays a couple weeks ago, but freaking for some reason, it's on Netflix, but you can't download certain Netflix titles, and this was one of them. Really? So like I could stream it now if I wanted to, maybe if it's still out there, but I couldn't download it for my plane ride, which I was like very upset about. I don't know why. So I ended up watching something else.
That's weird. I wonder if that's like a security thing or like maybe it's probably just like a licensing thing, honestly.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I can't download it still. But it's on Netflix. What?
Who produced it?
Like what studio?
Yeah.
Oh, Denis Villeneuve did. That's why it came on my radar originally, because he did Dune. And I was like, what else has he done? And he did Prisoners.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wait, it's set in Conyers, Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cool. All right, whatever. Yeah, so I definitely want to check that out. Next one is, again, one I believe I've seen in like middle or high school, but I don't really remember much of it, and that's 12 Years a Slave. Did you see this one?
I don't think I've seen that one either.
This one has like really good scores on Rotten Tomatoes, and I do want to watch this one. I think it's like a historical kind of film about like slavery and stuff. So, and I think like the psychology behind that. Yeah, I definitely want to watch that one, but I've heard that's a classic. Next one, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Have you seen that one? I was
literally just about to bring that up. I was like, yeah, because that's the one I do remember.
What do you think of it?
And from what I liked it, but here's the thing. I remember it being like audiences were either loving it or hating it because
it's really
Walter
divided.
Mitty was originally based on a short story, and they took a lot of liberties from that short story in this.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Originally, it's about like I'm pretty sure an older guy. And like in the movie, he's going on these adventures because I believe in the movie, he's like trying to get the cover photo from this one photographer.
Yes.
But the photographer's out somewhere, so he's got to go out and find him.
Yeah.
Right. But that's like really far off from what happened in the short story, because the short story is this older guy walking home, and he's daydreaming about all these adventures that he'd love to go on, but he can't.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I like the direction they took the movie with.
Yeah, same.
I think this was Ben Stiller was the star was Walter Mitty, and he also directed this.
Yeah.
I thought this was his directorial debut, but it wasn't. He actually directed Zoolander, which I did not realize. Totally very different films.
What a different vibe.
Yeah. I think it's a good, relatable story, like pretty good message about enjoying life, going on adventures, and just like wanting to get out into the world and experience it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I didn't realize this.
Good feel-good movie.
Yeah. It really just makes you like open your eyes on like what's important, really. Which is always a good thing to have perspective of. Yeah. I didn't realize The Great Gatsby also came out this year.
Yeah, that was my last one of the classics in this category. So, yeah, The Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire. You've seen this one, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think we watched this in school before.
There's a lot of movies that came out in this year. Jeez, The Internship too, Gravity.
Yeah. Those are Daniel. We're getting there. We're getting there.
But The Great Gatsby. It was unique in that same sense to where it was based off of the book.
We got the meme of Leonardo DiCaprio like holding up
holding the thing. Yeah.
Wait, dude. Hold on. For our audio listeners, I'm sorry. One sec. My coworker got me a candle for that his wife made for Christmas, and this like perfectly fits for the meme. It's like,
oh my god, that's like a candle?
Yeah, it's a candle. It's like I don't know what.
Is there ice in that too? From the looks of it?
No, it's like a squishy it's the Jello, the candle.
I'm saying, but saying like it doesn't
ice.
Look like ice.
It's like it's like a candle that looks like a like a drink.
Looks like a margarita, dude. That's so freaking dope.
For the meme, I'm Leonardo DiCaprio. Except I date. Actually, no. I also date women around 24, but it's because I am 23. So I am exactly Leonardo. I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Tobey Maguire, of course, is in this. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a classic.
Classic.
All right, so out of the category, Wolf of Wall Street, Her, Prisoners, 12 Years a Slave, Walter Mitty, Great Gatsby. What's your favorite in this category?
I probably gotta say it's probably The Secret Life of Walter Mitty in this
that's
category.
The only one you've watched besides Great Gatsby.
Well, that, yeah, and then if I saw Her, I'd probably say Her, but because you know me when it comes to artistic cues and all that kind of stuff, I love that stuff. But no, with The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, I do love the story in that, and like how they just the exploration and the meaning behind it. Yeah. So I like that a lot.
I think that's a good just like movie night when you want to like lay down and just chill with some friends, and like a feel good movie. That's a good one. So I think I might say, just to put some, so when everyone's not saying like, oh, you guys are saying the same thing, I'm gonna say Wolf of Wall Street, honestly, just because I think it's a really well told story, and when I think classics, this is one that like pops up that like I know a lot of people talk about, and I'm not a finance bro, but yeah, Margot Robbie's in it, like come on. And like I said with the meme, I'm Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's in that too, so
yeah, so it's a Leo year, freaking 2013, man.
Yeah, 2 movies. All right. Ready for the next category?
Yeah, what we got?
We got sci-fi/fantasy.
Okay.
So, Gravity, like you said.
Yep.
Have you seen that one?
Okay, here's the thing. I feel like there's a couple movies that came out with the same mentality.
Yes,
Is this
I know.
Because there's Gravity, and then what was the other one?
Interstellar is similar.
Yeah, I don't know. But who is in this one? If I know who's in it, then
Between Gravity?
Sandra Bullock. Yeah, this is the one with Sandra Bullock. Yeah. So no, I have not seen this one.
I don't think I've seen this one either, honestly. I think I have seen, no, actually, I've seen one scene like 4 times because when I came here to California, the first time when I was visiting, I was on spring break, my freshman year of college, and I went to Warner Brothers, and they had like, I went through a tour and they had an exhibit. It was called like The Art of Sound, and it was basically showing like how much sound changes a movie. And it was playing one scene from Gravity over and over, but with different sound passes. So it was like, here's the dialogue pass. Well, it was like, here's the full mix, and it was just looked like it was like a normal movie scene. Then it was like, here's the just the Foley. Then here's just the dialogue. Here's just the sound effects. Here's just the music. And then it like put them all together again, and it was just like this. It was like, wow, like there's a lot that goes into that. And that was the first time I was like, wow, sound is like a huge part in film. So I appreciate Gravity because of that.
Sound is like onions.
Yes, there's layers.
It's got all those layers.
Yeah. So Gravity is like an onion. Yeah.
Because it stinks. No.
I think technologically this one was pretty impressive when it came out. People were like awed at it, but I don't know. It just didn't really appeal to me to go see it, my little 14-year-old self.
Same.
Next on this list, I've got Ender's Game. Have you seen this
Yeah, I
one?
was just going to say that too. Yeah, I have, actually.
I have not. What is it about?
And it is actually pretty good. So the idea is you have this kid named Ender. He's super smart. Humanity's faced
Oh, Harrison Ford's in it?
Yeah, he's like the
Ben
mentor.
Kingsley is? Haley Steinfeld?
Yeah.
The guy from Sex Education? Dang.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry. You continue. My bad.
They had a lot of people. But yabba dabba do. So in the end, what pretty much happens is there's this alien invasion that's coming in, but they're using Ender as they're like training him with all these different simulations and stuff like that. So like
Ender's the kid?
Yeah, he's uber smart.
Okay.
Right? And what they end up doing is for this one thing, they tell him it's a simulation, but it's not. They're actually going live and sending in people to like defeat this invasion. And he doesn't know that, and then after it's over,
just like the simulation,
he realized he pretty much just committed genocide against this entire race. Yeah. So that's kind of like the whole point of the movie. Like it's him getting ready for that battle, and then him having like emotionally deal with the consequences, and then like him connecting with a survivor of the genocide at the end, and then like him apologizing.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah, that's what I roughly remember. But yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
All right. Well, the next one I've got on this list is Star Trek Into Darkness. I believe this was the last film J.J. Abrams did before The Force Awakens.
Really?
Yeah, J.J. Abrams was a huge Star Trek guy and then jumped to Star Wars. Lens flares galore in this one, if I'm remembering correctly, / just trusting in J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
That's his thing. So James Cameron has water, like we said last week. Quentin Tarantino has feet. J.J. Abrams has lens flares. Everyone has their thing. What's going to be our
Michael Bay
thing? What?
has explosions.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
What's your thing, Daniel?
Big boot. No.
Big booty. Like Quentin's got the feet. I've got the big booty.
I don't know what
That's
my
more
thing
adult
is.
films, Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh, frick. We forgot Quirky Queries last week. Sorry, I just realized.
We did.
We'll do Quirky Queries this week.
I'm trying to think of what like I don't make films, but I'm thinking like game wise, like what's my thing for games?
What would my thing be, do you think, Daniel?
For your movies? Thing is
being a swell guy.
Focus on effects. Yeah.
Effects?
That too.
I don't want to just be a visual effects guy. I want to like have a good story, you know? But like, yeah, I feel like effects, that's too broad. Like I need like feet.
Yeah, I know.
Or
That's the thing.
I don't want feet. Let's be clear.
I want hands.
Yeah.
I think my thing is game feel, or like story feel.
Nah,
and stuff
that's
like
that's too generic. You need something like you put lens flares and everything, or like some part of it. Like we'll figure it out. I feel like as we grow as artists, we will determine like, oh, I actually really like I don't know, something. We'll figure it out. Like rain. Oh, that's kind of water. I can't step on James Cameron. I like lava.
yeah,
I'm the lava guy. I don't know.
You're lava guy?
Yeah, so
Okay.
he'll be James Cameron will be freeze miser. I'll be heat miser. That's how our dynamic will work. All right, that's enough Star Trek. Even though we didn't really talk about Star Trek. So next, The Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug came out this year. So that was the second one. We actually
This
last
is
year.
your sci-fi?
This is sci-fi / fantasy.
Fantasy. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Desolation of Smaug. Is that the second or third one?
That's the second one. So I think that's a good one. The third one was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, agreed.
I think this one had the barrel thing.
Yes.
Barrel whitewater rafting? I didn't mind that, honestly. I said that before. I kind of enjoyed it. It was fun.
It was all right, you know. It came out of spots sometimes, but it was all right. It was fun.
The
it was
GoPro
fun.
shots were like, what?
Yeah, that needed to be cut. But it had the fun energy there. That's what matters.
I can't believe that's 10 years old. Wow.
Say Morgan Freeman?
Martin Freeman.
Oh. I just like imagine Morgan Freeman.
Hobbit cut, instead of Martin Freeman, it's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
Quick, get in these barrels.
Yeah, I mean, the Hobbit trilogy wasn't great, so this is kind of like a forgettable thing of 2013, I guess. Benedict Cumberbatch's performance was pretty good. Him crawling around, slithering on the floor, I guess. That was something he did. Laid the groundwork for him to be Doctor Strange a couple years later, I guess.
Yeah, dude, it's all about the commitment to the floor, you know? You got to be grounded.
Yeah, it's interesting to be thinking about people like their careers, like where they were at this point. Like Martin Freeman.
Yeah.
This was like one of his big breaks, and now he's in a bunch of Marvel stuff. Same with, what's his face? Like, speaking of Star Trek, we got Chris Pine. I guess Star Trek was a little indie film, and now he's doing the great Dungeons and Dragons movie this year.
Dude, that reminds me, okay?
Yeah.
I didn't know this. So you know how Spider-Verse, right? At the beginning, they're like, oh, I even have like Christmas album, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? That's an actual thing on Spotify.
Yeah, I know.
I did not know that. And it's Chris Pine singing.
We should have listened to it over Christmas. I forgot.
Dude, that was... I like found that from like TikTok the other day. I started like listening to it as I was working. I'm like, this is majestic. This is great. I needed this in my life.
Everyone check that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next, I've got Hunger Games Catching Fire.
Yep, I didn't really see any of the Hunger Games except for like the first one.
This
Even
was
the
the
first
second
one, I
one.
think I only saw in parts.
Yeah. I don't know. The Hunger Games, I really liked the books, and I saw but the movies weren't like anything groundbreaking.
They didn't
to me.
Catch the fire of your eye.
Correct. And you know me, Daniel. I'm the lava guy in movies. That's my thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the fact that I didn't catch the fire, I was disappointed. I'm gonna be actually really upset if, like, in the future, I become known as like the lava guy. Like, I don't want that.
You prophesized it, so now it's gonna happen.
Okay, sounds good.
Later today, you're gonna be in Blender, be like, okay, how do I simulate this? I should probably be more like a Houdini thing, but still.
So this was the second movie, and then they split the third book into two movies. And I think we've actually got, it's interesting because like this was 10 years ago, and we've got a Hunger Games prequel coming out this year, the Songbird, whatever, Battle of the Songbird, something, I don't know what it is, President Snow one. So I hope that's good. I don't know. I haven't really been like excited to come back to the Hunger Games universe, HCU, HGCU, HGTV. I don't know. And then last in this category, I have Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters. I believe this was the second one in the Percy Jackson series. I don't know if I've ever seen this one, actually.
Same.
I like the first Percy Jackson.
That's your last one? There's a couple in here. I was gonna say
yeah, what else you got?
I mean, Riddick was okay.
I didn't see that.
It was just really weird. It was just, what's his name? Dom, whatever.
Daniel, I don't know. I haven't seen it. You can ask me what's
going crazy. It's the guy from the Fast and Furious where he's like the bald guy.
Vin Diesel?
Family. Yeah, Vin Diesel. I totally blanked on his name.
Wow.
I think he's Dom in the Fast and Furious thing. That's why I said that. Anywho, I wouldn't know because I also haven't seen that. But Riddick it was just weird. It had like this really weird vibe.
Was it like an
Oblivion,
action?
however.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
Oblivion.
it was like an action space thing. Oblivion was I believe it was Tom Cruise.
Oh, is that one where you might think, wait, what is it? Oh, I've heard about this one.
Yeah. So it was different. It was something I believe.
A love story set in 2077 on an Earth desolated. Oh, I just lost it. Desolated by something.
Yeah.
By war.
What happened?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So like, I think they're trying to figure out like what caused the war and all that, and they have like this spaceship and like I think the day keeps on repeating or something like that.
No, that was Edge of Tomorrow is the one where the day keeps repeating.
No, that also happens there. Yes, but I feel like something like that.
This happens here too. Tom Cruise is starred in 2 repeating Groundhog Day
Maybe
movies.
it's not a repeating day thing, but it might be like repeating cycle thing, which in turn is like one way to interpret Oblivion. If you think about it, I think that's kind of what they were going for.
Edge of Tomorrow was 2014. That was the dumbest marketing move they have ever done, calling it Edge of Tomorrow. All of the promo was called Live, Die, Repeat, and that makes sense because that's like the premise of the movie, and that's like such a good like title. But they called it Edge of Tomorrow, and so no one knew what the heck it was about, and no one saw it. If they called it Live, Die, Repeat, I feel like it would have done so much better.
I mean, yes, hear me out. The aliens in that were still terrible.
Really?
Yeah, are you shitting me?
I
mean, okay, so like the ones on the battlefield were fine, but the ones at the end, like the end,
I don't know if I watched. I don't think I watched it the whole way through.
I'm telling you, it's just you died and it repeated. And he said, "I'm not going to watch it today."
Yeah. Live, Die, Repeat. Oh, they did that. All right, I guess the movie's over. All right.
But yeah.
Anyways, favorite of this category: Gravity, Ender's Game, Star Trek Into Darkness, The Hobbit, Desolation of Smog, Hunger Games: Catching Fire, Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters, Oblivion.
I would say
this wasn't a great year for sci-fi and fantasy, it looks like.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'd probably say Ender's Game from my memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might
it's pretty
say
good. Wait, like Star Trek, that was pretty good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not much of a Trekkie, but that was pretty good.
I guess I would have to say, just from recency bias, I watched The Hobbit, Desolation of Smog, and I thought it was all right, I guess. So that'll be my favorite of this category, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's a solid pick.
Next, I've got comedies of this year. This was a good year for comedies, I believe. So, starting out hot, we got Grown Ups 2. Thoughts on Grown Ups 2?
Oh, that was this year?
2013, yeah.
Dang. What happens in Grown Ups 2?
This is when they're not on that vacation. They're like back home, and like Adam Sandler just like throws a party.
Yes, that's right. I do remember it now.
That's basically the plot. Adam Sandler throws it. They go to like the dance recital. They roll down the big tire.
I prefer the first one.
I also prefer the first one, but I think this one's just a
also
fun,
pretty good.
shut off your brain comedy movie. I've said this before. I say what you want about Adam Sandler, but I respect the fact that he just built a career out of making dumb movies, just having fun with his friends. Like, yeah, that's so freaking remarkable and rad.
There's a whole verse, Sandler verse. We've talked about this.
The ACU, Adam Sandler, ASCU, Adam Sandler Cinematic Universe. I do think it's funny. There's like one scene where he like is teaching his kid how to like pick up women, and I truly think it's just Adam Sandler like giving advice on how he has like attracted attractive women, because like he says like what you got to do is you go up to them, make them laugh, compliment their smile, and then ask them out for that night so they don't have a chance to realize how fugly you are before they can say no.
Yeah, no, that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
And it worked in the movie, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because of that, that's up a few points. All right, next. I think you said this, the internship with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You know,
I like that pairing.
right.
They also did Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
It's like the Google internship, and
yeah, so they're like competing for like a role in Google or something like that.
they're like super old compared to like these Harvard grads and stuff. Yeah, I think it's pretty funny. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This feels like a very 2013 comedy.
Yeah, very much so.
We're the Millers, also 2013.
That one I'm not recalling.
That's the one with is it Jason Sudeikis? Is that how you say? And Will Poulter and Jennifer Aniston. They're are not a family, but they're pretending to be a family to smuggle drugs back into the country.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I've seen clips of it, and the clips are pretty funny. Most of those actors have like of the main cast have like gone on to do great things with their career. I mean, Will Poulter went from like he was known as like he was the Virgin in this movie, and now he's freaking playing Adam Warlock. Like that's crazy. Good 10 years for him.
There you go. I mean, he's still technically a virgin in MCU then, but
I think you would like We're the Millers if you would check that out. Anyways,
there's also The Hangover 3.
Yeah, that was next on my list. My mom was so upset. Not upset, but she was like disappointed that I watched that movie. And again, I think I watched it a few years after it came out, so I was like 16. And I went over to a friend's house when I was 16, and we watched this movie, and And when I came back and told her about it, she was like, like, I'm kind of upset you watched that. Like, it's a pretty vulgar movie. And I was like, Mom, I am 16 years old. I go to high school, Mom. But like, she wasn't actually like upset, but like, I think she thought it was vulgar. That's what I call movies that she doesn't like. It's like mom vulgar. It's not really vulgar, but like they're vulgar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally get that. That's such a vibe.
What do you think?
Honestly,
of The Hangover
all
3?
of the hangovers blend together for me. Then they go to Mexico in this one because they had to like get. Like,
I think they went to the Asian man's house, like secret estate in Mexico or something
to,
like that.
Break in and get the secret vault. Yeah.
Yes, I believe.
So yeah, no, there's still funny moments in this one. I think the earlier ones were better, but
I do respect that. Like,
yeah,
I feel like these comedies, like there's a few of them, like Hangover 3 and Grown Ups 2, obviously not, but The Internship and We're the Millers, like those are very unique concepts, and I like that it's not just like we're seeing sequels. Speaking of not sequels, we have This Is the End, which again, speaking of Grown Ups with Adam Sandler, just his friends making movies, this was like James Franco and
Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill.
Yeah, just like a friend group making movies. There was like a random Emma Watson cameo. Like that was insane. Like she just like came in. I don't think I've seen the full thing, but like I don't know. I've heard good things. It's kind of stood up to the test of time somewhat, maybe.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
I don't know if it's actually aged well or not. There might be some jokes in there that like haven't aged well. I don't know.
When you say that, you mean like they're cancelable by today's standards?
I've never know if James Franco is like in good standing with the public. I don't like keep up with that, so I don't know if it is or not right now. So I'm just gonna leave it there. So out of this category, Grown Ups 2, The Internship, We're the Millers, Hangover 3, This Is the End. Favorite.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Anchorman 2.
Oh, Anchorman 2. I haven't seen Anchorman 2 or Anchorman 1.
You've seen Anchorman 2?
Yeah, I know.
It's not as good as the first one.
All right. What's your favorite of the category?
That's a tough one. I'm going to... Let's think. I haven't seen a lot of these. So I'm going to say Anchorman 2.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's not one that I've
resonates
seen.
More in my brain. You know.
I'm going to say...
Like, come on, I love that kind of comedy. He's just a goat with that.
I'm going to say The Internship. I actually really like The Internship, and I watched that with my mom. Not recently, but in more recent memory, and we both enjoyed that. Yeah, it's a good message about, like, your age doesn't define what you can and can't do, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to say that. All right. Next, second to last category, animation. There's a lot of movies that came out this year, but we have, first off, Monsters University, so the prequel to Monsters, Inc. Did you like Monsters University?
Yeah, and you said before this is the first film that used global illumination, right? Which is crazy to think about.
Yes, yeah, at Pixar at least. I don't know, it wasn't as good as the first one in my mind, and
oh, definitely, but it still had its own place.
Yeah, I think people were in this era. People were like hating on Pixar sequels a lot because I think this was like around the Cars 2 era. So like I think it got a negative taste in people's mouth, but I don't think it's that bad. Like I think this is one that, like, again, when I'm making clips for TikTok, if I like start watching it, I end up watching like a big chunk of it and like wasting a lot of time. So I enjoy watching it at least. Next, we've got Planes, which is a Cars spinoff that has like 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't really have a need to see it. It was funny. I was watching again on TikTok the other day, and what was it? In Cars 2 or 3, there was like a check or like a security checkpoint they go through when they go to like an airport or something. Does that imply the whole thing of the TikTok was like, does that imply that there was in the Cars universe like a Cars 911?
Oh my gosh.
And like
maybe.
And like who did that? But no, here's the thing. Here's why I think there wasn't.
Is it like a kamikaze plane? Just I don't know.
But no, that's what they were saying in the theory, right? But hear me out.
Okay.
If that was the case, wouldn't there be security like at the hangars for the planes and not for the cars? Because the cars aren't driving the planes, right? Which
can the planes be hijacked? Are you like going inside the plane?
I don't know. I think they said that doesn't happen, so I don't know. So my point is, right? If cars do not go inside of planes or drive planes, that means there's no need for a TSA, which means there's some other kind of terroristic thing that cars have done that they need to then be checked for.
Oh my gosh.
In the Cars universe.
That's insane. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we could do a whole episode to like the Cars plane 9/11 conspiracy theory.
I feel like there's a lot more to that. Like there's, it's not just that, but there's like the relations to like subtle things in cars. So like how does that like work to like real world stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But that's just one of the things that made me think of that. Sorry. I know that's kind of a direction.
Interesting. That was fine. All right. Next, we've got Frozen on this list. That came out 2013.
Yeah.
10 years ago. You don't like Frozen?
I hate Frozen.
I think it eclipsed the point of being like it was good, and then so many people liked it that I think a lot of people fell off because they're like it's too loved. And it got annoying the amount that all the songs were playing and stuff.
Yes, I hate one.
What?
I hate movies that get like way too like musical or musical-y. Like musicals are fine.
Disney's
I'm not a musical
musicals.
guy. I know. Well, that's why I like Pixar more. So, but with that, it's
Strange
just like,
World wasn't musical.
Yeah, and that's why I haven't seen it yet, but I'm probably gonna love it. Either
Dude, you
way,
haven't seen it? It's on Disney Plus now.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I watched it over break.
Okay, I'll have to give it a watch. But no, just way too much singing. I mean, it's not meant for like me as the audience. It's meant for like kids and stuff like that.
Well, when it came out, you were 14.
Well, yeah, but it still felt like for younger kids at that point.
I feel like we were like just after the target age range for that.
And like everybody was talking. I hated how much people were talking about it or singing the songs. Like,
yeah, it
let it go and shut up. Like honestly, that's where my mind was.
Yeah,
animation looked cool. I get it, but like that's probably the only upside I can give to it.
I think I didn't mind it. I don't mind it as much as everyone. A lot of people hate it. Like I thought it was pretty good. Like I enjoyed the first one, the story. I didn't really like the second one nearly as much, but the first one I thought was a decent story, and I was jamming to
I'm happy that the second one killed it.
Yeah, okay. All right. Next, speaking of sequels, we've got Despicable Me 2. I don't really remember what happened in this one.
Yeah, same.
I really kind of vaguely remember the first one, and after that I was like, all right, I don't know if this one's for me.
I'm sorry. I'm not like, I mean, they're here for the memes, but I'm not on the Minion Gru train, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same.
Like
we're at the station waiting for another train. Yeah. And like the Minion train comes up, we're like, no thank you.
Talk about trains and speed, you know? There's also Turbo.
That came out this year?
I'm seeing it coming out in 2013, yeah.
Oh shoot, I didn't realize that. Yeah, it did. That's the snail racing one. Samuel L. Jackson's a snail.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen clips.
I don't know if I've
seen like edits on TikTok, you know, where they like just post clips from a movie, and I like watched the final end race, and I was like, yeah, no, that's kind of hype, whatever. But like, I don't want to watch the like hour build up to like why he's doing this race kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then ultimately at the end, it is he like obviously it's again the whole thing. 2013 was the year of stripping them down of their powers. So sorry to like spoil the end of Turbo, but like at the end, he like loses his like turbo jet boost ability, so he has to finish like this Fortune 500 like just literally as a snail within the last like 5 inches of the finish line. He's just like going as a snail, so like he's just slowly going. Meanwhile, like a guy crashed his car and is like sprinting, trying to like run. So it's literally like a tortoise in the hare kind of thing.
Jeez.
It was kind of hype with the TikTok music they put over it, but next we've got The Croods and The Smurfs 2. Those are the last two I have on this list.
The Croods, I don't know if I've even seen I've seen the first one.
I've heard the second Croods was decent. I think actually the guy that did The Croods 2 just did Puss in Boots 2.
Oh, really?
I believe that's the same person. So I might want to watch The Croods and The Croods 2 just to see if I can see any, like, maybe I'll find out what his thing is, you know? Mine's lava.
Yeah.
No, I'm making this a thing. No.
It's going to be a thing now. We're going to have to get merch about this now.
My thing's lava.
Lava man. Lava man.
I wish I could have come up with anything better. I was thinking James Cameron's water. What's not water? It's lava. Oh, man.
Honestly, if we're being here, like, you're lighting. But I feel like you're going to say that's too general.
No, I think.
But, like, I think it's specific enough.
But that's not as funny as lava. So for the joke, I'll say lava, but for real talk, it'll probably be lighting. Thanks, man.
Oh, you also didn't talk about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
That was this year?
With a Chance of Meatballs. It was the second one.
Oh.
your disappointment.
What happened in the second one?
I think there was like a food island that they went to.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've actually seen this one all the way through.
I don't know if I have either. Maybe that's why Andy Samberg is Baby Brent. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Monsters University. It's probably my best pick from this year.
Phil Lord and Christopher Miller did Cloudy with Chance of Meatballs. I forgot. You're sorry, what are you doing?
Monsters University for this year.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah.
I think I'm also going to stick with Monsters University. Yeah, I enjoyed seeing just like the world of like a Monsters college campus. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Next, this is kind of my miscellaneous / when you think 2013 and I say these movies, you're like, yeah, that's definitely a 2013 film, or like an early 2010s movie. I feel like that's the best way to describe it. So
Yeah.
a lot of these I haven't seen, but some of these I have. I'm just going to run through these and then we can talk about like any that jump out to you. So we've got Oz the Great and Powerful, Now You See Me, Warm Bodies, Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters, World War Z, R.I.P.D.
One that we didn't talk about, Captain Phillips.
I haven't seen that. What is that? You just ignored my whole list.
Well, I just saw it, and I'm like, this is the movie I think of this year, honestly, because I didn't know it came out that year. Because that movie was
What is
great.
it? I've never seen it.
He is a captain of a ship,
And his name's Phillips.
Yeah, he's Captain Phillips, and what happens is it gets raided by pirates.
Oh.
So the whole thing is like him trying to figure out how to
Is it like a
keep his
serious
crew alive, and
drama?
yeah, it's very serious.
Oh.
And then like,
I don't think that fits in this
but
category.
but the reason because this was based off a real world event that happened, like this actually happened.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, besides that, I was gonna say,
But yeah, sorry.
those
your
like
list.
2013 movies, like I feel like VFX at this point, early 2010s, were like good enough that most filmmakers could experiment with it, and it wasn't just like such a super niche thing. So like we were like, I feel like directors and filmmakers without a VFX background were putting VFX in their films, and this was the early days of that, where it was like kind of passable, and we were getting that in feature films. And I think that's what a lot of these movies did, like World War Z, Warm Bodies, even Now You See Me, Oz the Great and Powerful. I don't know.
I would say Now You See Me would be another one I remember.
Yeah.
It's like quintessential to this area.
Hansel
It's also
and
funny too.
Gretel.
I'm thinking from like an animation perspective. I feel like, and this also goes for special effects as well. Like I feel like we started to at this time period, like 2010 to like 2015. We started really like standardize a lot of the techniques that like, because before it used to be like, hey, we're trying to do this and be like independent studios or really the big name ones that like could already proven themselves early on.
Yeah.
Kind of like doing it themselves and then moving forward. And then if you're say another independent studio, like you'd have to come up with a new way to do it. But then there's also advancements with like, again, like we talked about global illumination. My point is we started standardizing like how a lot of the techniques and tools were done. I feel like at this point.
Pipelines. Yeah, I agree. So we're seeing more of them in movies.
And then from here on, it's kind of just been like, how can we get more powerful, more optimized?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which maybe is a good thing, but maybe it's a bad thing because like we're not innovating anymore. We're out of that phase. I don't know. There's always still people innovating, but yeah. So, Warm Bodies. I just want to mention. I don't think I've seen it, but I just remember seeing
what's it about
so
again?
many trailers about it. It's about the zombie nerd that like falls in love with like a living girl. I remember seeing it and like thinking it's like so weird. It's like a zombie romance. But I feel like that movie, that like synopsis just describes the vibe a lot of not huge blockbusters of this era kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe not. But anyways, what's your favorite of, I guess, this category? Oz the Great and Powerful, Now You See Me, Warm Bodies, Hansel and Gretel, World War Z, R.I.P.D. I might say Now You See Me just because that's the only one I can kind of remember.
Yeah, I'm going to say that as well.
And also because Oz the Great and Powerful was James Franco, and I still do not know if he's in good standing or not with everyone.
that aside, you know, I still also barely remember that movie, you know, so.
Final thoughts. Was 2013 a good year of movies? Have these aged well?
I think it was a good year. Some of them did, some of them didn't. I think in general, it was very net positive.
Yeah, I feel like there weren't any classics in the sense of like superhero movies or like.
There's some really good bangers this year, actually.
This was like right before the era of like, I feel like the modern day where I feel like Star Wars: The Force Awakens led into the modern day of like huge tentpole blockbusters and like the new strategy with like streaming really taking over 2015 on. I think this was like the lull right before that. And they're definitely like were classics, and I do like those.
Yeah, like Man of Steel, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass 2 again. Doofenshmirtz, the Sweet Ride, Phineas and Ferb film.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's a good mix. I think there's a good mix.
And out of these movies, which has aged the worst?
The worst.
I'm gonna say Planes because it just oozes cheap cash grab.
Yeah. I was gonna say Planes or Turbo. Like those two, I feel like are.
Yeah.
Close, but I do feel like Planes takes that cake.
Yeah. What a cake to get to take. I'm gonna say my favorite for 2013. For Evan, I know it's Man of Steel. I'm gonna say Wolf of Wall Street potentially. I'm not a finance bro, I swear, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you keep on saying that, which is just gonna make people
I
think
know.
like you definitely are.
I know. What about you?
I'm gonna say that's tough. I'm between Ender's Game and Captain Phillips.
What can I say, Daniel? I'm a lava guy, and Margot Robbie brings the heat in Wolf of Wall Street. So
Okay. All right. Alrighty.
I'm embracing it
Okay.
now. I've circled around. I'm now embracing the lava-ness.
What would my thing be?
I don't know. I think there's a freaking smoke alarm now going off in my house, or like beeping, like the battery's low. So it's all going wrong. Oh my gosh. We'll figure it out. All right, you ready to jump into?
We'll get it. Yeah.
Quirky Queries.
Yeah. What we got this time?
I don't have one. This is your category. What do you have? You always come up with a unique quirky query.
Oh wait. What is this query? Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. They're like the questions about like really
You
random
did the
stuff,
Aquaman
but they're
one
really
last
fun.
time.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a second here. I'll think of one. Okay. So. Okay. Well, since we're on these movies, if there's any of these movies that you could be in, like in their world, which one would it be?
That's not a quirky query. It's supposed to be different than the topic of the standalone.
Fine.
Would you choose Ender's Game?
I probably would.
I probably choose Grown Ups too, just like goof off with my friends. I don't know.
That's the thing. Like if I chose a lot of the other ones, it's pretty much the same. Like Captain Phillips is the real world, Like,
Yeah.
If I was like in the Wolverine, it's like a Marvel universe technically, but like it's still the real world.
Star Trek.
So I don't know.
All right, come on, quirky query.
Okay.
What you got?
Okay, fine. Let me ask you this. Okay, you're talking about your new sweatpants earlier. Okay.
I was.
What is your ideal type of pants?
Oh my gosh. I mean, sweatpants is just for comfort, but that's not always what you want. I think for most versatility, you could do jeans because you can dress up jeans, you can dress down jeans. They're pretty comfy.
Yeah.
But also, like, I do like a good pair of dress pants. And just like, I got some new pants over Christmas break, Here, I can grab them actually.
That's the thing. For me, you know me, Jake. I always go with my like colored jeans because there's a nice middle ground.
Got some nice,
to where jeans.
Yeah. Or not jeans, these are just like nice pants that I can wear going out and they're like fit well, Yeah.
Yeah. But like for me, it's like I now have my go-to like black jeans that I originally got for Leppy's wedding. Funnily enough, I don't know. There's just a lot of utility in them because like they could be classed up, they could be classed down. They're neutral, so they work
assless
out.
Chaps.
Oh my
Just
god!
kidding.
You just made me think of Seeger with that. Jesus. And technically, shorts can be included in this too. Like, I feel like
that's a whole other can of worms. We gotta do just strictly pants for now.
Okay.
There's joggers. There's corduroys.
I never really liked joggers.
Cargo
not gonna
pants.
lie.
Khakis.
Cargos are cool if you're like
tech pants, utility.
if you need
pants.
to hold a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you're like a working man, but you're not always a working man. Sometimes you're just a
I'm gonna go with the classic jeans. I think
I'm gonna go with my like a colored jeans. Like
I'm gonna
if it's just a blue jeans, it's like okay.
I'll do blue
but,
jeans. I wear those all the time. I'm a dad, I guess.
I got my black jeans on now.
Nice. They just want to show
flex
off his
my
pants.
guess.
That's why you asked that. All right, ready for patron shout-outs. Oh yeah, I'm gonna skip TTT and draft because I didn't come up.
Yeah.
I was sleep deprived last night coming up with these notes. I'm sorry. Cue the Every Stars music. Boost, got Patreon, Lori, Frank, Rick, Lisa, Evan, Tony. Thank you so much for pledging the tier. Thank you to the shout out. If you can support us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. You get the audio episode early, special benefits, cool perks, all that jazz, and more. Thank you seriously, sincerely to our Patreon supporters. Sorry if you can hear the smoke alarm is going off in the background. I think that's that. Some beeping. Or I could just be going to say maybe I'm just hearing.
I heard the beep.
All right. Well, ready for cool comments?
Yeah, what we got this time?
Well, first of all, please leave a comment what you thought of this concept. Should we do this for every year? Determine like what the best and worst year of Hollywood was? Yeah. And Josh McIntyre on our Christmas episode, I'm going to shout him out because he said, just got to say, this podcast is amazing. On my way to check out Daniel's game. Yes, so everyone, check out the demo for RUINWAKER VR if you have a VR headset capability. All right.
What he said.
Ready for the introduction?
Yeah, tell me when.
When?
We just talk about what we want to talk about, and now we're done.
Thank you seriously, sincerely, so much to our patron, or to everyone. Sorry, patron. Dude, it's because you did the intro. I'm just like, or the PreBanter. I'm so like out of it, but yeah.
Yeah, I threw you off.
Thank you everyone for listening. We really appreciate it. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.